I'd like to discuss at this time what Indiana law allows for recovery of personal injuries in a typical automobile, motorcycle, or truck accident. First and foremost, the nature and extent of the injuries has to be considered. Is it a muscle strain case? Is it a case where you may have a bulging disc and need surgery? Is it a dashboard knee case where your knees hit the dashboard and you may need surgery to remove some cartilage? So first and foremost, you look to the nature and extent of the exact injury. Once you know the nature and extent of the injury, then you have to consider several other elements of what we call special damage or itemized damages. These are out-of-pocket damages, for example, medical bills. All of your medical bills that are causally related to your injury and necessary for treatment for recovery of your injuries are included as a part of your damages in Indiana. Certainly all prescription expense, so it is important to keep copies of all medical bills and all prescription expense receipts for your attorney. Mileage expenses we can determine based upon just computer analysis of how far you go and how many trips you've had to the doctor. So you would not have to keep your mileage expense. That's something we do for you. Lost wages are recoverable if you're off work during a period of time from your normal job that the doctor says you need to be off to recover for your injuries. That's typically proven by getting or obtaining from your doctor off work slips. Covering your time off with permission of the doctor on off work slips is extremely important and something that's often overlooked by clients. When you do go back to work, it's important that you have your doctor sign a return to work slip. Even in situations where you're self-employed, we ask that our clients obtain these slips so the doctor doesn't then have to go back and try to remember how long he might or might not have been able to keep you off of work during that period of time. So it's a matter of proper documentation. Certainly injuries also cause physical pain, mental pain, and emotional pain and suffering. These are elements of damages that are recognized as a part of recovery in Indiana. Many people unfortunately don't make a full recovery from their injuries. They're left with permanent and chronic pain. If a doctor gives an opinion based upon a reasonable degree of medical certainty, or that it's more probable than not that the pain that you have is chronic and that it was either caused by or contributed to or aggravated by the accident, and typically we can include that as an element of damage and ask the jury to award you something over your lifetime for the pain that you do suffer. Sometimes we actually have our clients see a doctor of our choosing. The purpose of the examination is to obtain an independent evaluation from a specialist, either an orthopedic doctor, a neurosurgeon, or perhaps a pain rehabilitation doctor known as a physiatrist. To obtain an opinion after examination and evaluation as to whether or not the pain that our client experienced is chronic and permanent, and whether they qualify also for an American Medical Association guidebook impairment rating. That guidebook sets out when a client may qualify for a 5, 10, or 15% impairment of the whole person, or a body part like a lower extremity for the legs and an upper extremity for the arms. The purpose in this is to help either the adjuster or a jury to have better evidence to properly evaluate whether or not your claim should be compensated on the basis of a temporary injury with no impairment and a full recovery versus perhaps an impairment that will be the rest of your life, and it could be as much as 5, 10, or 15% or more based upon the doctor's evaluation. Also, sometimes clients have scarring left by either surgery or from the initial injuries. Scarring in and of itself is a separate recognized element in Indiana. And last and certainly not least of the typical issues that you have to look at for elements of damage is the effect of the overall injury on your daily life, whether it's combing your hair, bathing, being able to cook, care for yourself. All of these are elements that we have to look at to determine what is a full and fair recovery for you. It's extremely important to properly document your claim. This is why Blackburn and Green provides you with a free evidence folder so that you can place your photographs of your injuries. You can place photographs of the car damage, your estimates of repair, your medical bills, your prescription expenses, and your insurance contract in the folder. Nothing should be overlooked by you, your doctors, or your lawyer, and it's important to choose a lawyer who will look at everything and help you make the full recovery you deserve.